Well, tonight I think is a really good night. We have a really good turnout so far. Yeah, it really feels good to be back here in Bryant Denny. A lot of memories were made here, and I wouldn't be where I am, without the things that have happened on that field out there. So I'm really glad to be back here.
What does tonight mean? Having this luau, having all this, celebration. What does that mean exactly?
Well, for me, what it means is to be able to give back, and that's what we're going to do tonight. I don't want to spill the beans on, kind of what we're doing, but I can tell you that we're giving back to Knicks kids, and then also to the Boys and Girls Club of West Alabama, just to give back to the organizations that have, kind of had an impact on my life. Especially with Coach Saban, I think the best way for me to be able to give back to him is to give towards his foundation, and also I, support what he believes in as well. So, it's really just about giving back.
Coming into here, your team kind of mentioned this is your first foundation. How important was it to have it in Tuscaloosa? Is that something that kind of you wanted to touch on?
Well, I think it was important to have it here, because this is kind of a stepping stone that I took to get to where I'm at now. The biggest thing that I can say is just that I wanted to be able to give back, and this is one way I know of giving back.
Can you reflect on everything that's happened since the last time you've been in the stadium, when you came out here on the cart your junior year when you were injured? What's this whole journey been like for you?
It's been a journey, exactly what you said. It's been a journey, but I think it's been a really good journey. It's been a pretty impactful journey in my life, I'd say. But I'm just really glad to be back and excited to kind of help give back to the communities and see what we can do, tonight. And I'm glad my family gets to be here to support this event with me. And, the biggest thing I want to do is also thank, a lot of the sponsors that are here tonight. I want to thank them. I want to thank my family for being out here. And I want to thank my board members for helping make this possible as well.
Have you talked with Mac about playing in the second division, and what are those conversations like?
I never had the opportunity to talk to Mac. I've been busy with our team. I know he's been really busy competing, with the guys at New England. But, if he ever wants to talk, I'm here. I think it's hard, with what he has going on, him having to study the playbook, with it being his first year as well. I know the kind of perfectionist that he is. And so, I know he's going to be studying a lot.
What is that transition like? You're heading into your second year. What's that preparation like different than the first year in the NFL?
Well, I think of it as my freshman year here at Alabama. My sophomore year, I wish I knew the things I knew my freshman year. And it's sort of the same transition for me in the pros. With my rookie year, I wish I knew what I knew now than I did my rookie year. But I think that's just the learning curve, and that's just the process of how you got to continue to grow yourself in the NFL.
With that learning curve,
6 months, Alabama's kind of been at the forefront of developing stuff for the NIL. It's not supposed to go into effect July 1st. What are your thoughts on NIL and college ball, named it like this, and how do you see it benefiting or being a detriment to college athletics?
Well, personally, it is what it is. That's what I'd say. Whether they do it or whether they don't, it is what it is.
how's it been this year with Jalen Waddle on your team now? It's kind of like a reunion in a way. What has that transition been like? Make you feel more comfortable out there?
It's been good. It's always exciting, I think, when you get to reunite with a former teammate, as well as a familiar face. But I'm really excited, honestly, just to have the group of guys that we have this year.
So in the last few years with quarterbacks with you, Jalen, Mac, just what does it say about quarterback at Alabama, and what can be possible for guys
think if you're a competitor, I think you obviously want to come to the best, and you know what better place to do that than Alabama. That was kind of my mindset coming into you know the University of Alabama my freshman year, and you know I think we all helped each other develop and grow as a quarterback.
Did you get a chance to watch Bryce during the 8A game at all? And do you have any advice for him heading into his first year?
I did get to see a little bit of the game. I mean, I think he's doing pretty good. You know, it's always hard to tell because this is kind of his first year really taking over. No, but just stay calm, do what you did in high school, and you should be fine.
Do you see any similarities between your game and his game, the way he plays?
I wouldn't say I see similarities with my game and his game. I think he's really instinctive. He can extend plays really well. You know, he has a really good arm. He's very talented. But I wasn't a runner like him. You know, he can run. So.
What's one thing you learned about yourself from year one that you want to take into year two?
That's a really good question. I would say, what did I take? I would say there's a lot of things that I took. But I think the biggest thing that I took away from this past year, coming into this year, is just understanding that the new week is a new slate. You know, you can't really carry over the win into the next week because you take your focus really off of preparing for that week's game. But yeah, that's right.
There's not too many luau's in Tuscaloosa. What was the culture shock coming here from Hawaii, and how long did that take to adjust, kind of going from the West?
No, yeah, I wouldn't say it was much of a culture shock. You know, a lot of people in Hawaii almost have the same beliefs, have the same food. The only thing is we don't have any mountains up here. We don't have, I mean, if you really want to go deep into it, you know, if Tuscaloosa was an area in Hawaii, you know, we'd have about like a 15-minute drive to go to the beach. Now you'd have to drive about 4 hours to Orange Beach just to get to the beach, you know? So those are just some of the differences, but really not much of you know, of a change.
Now going into year two, you know, the NFL is going to have, you know, larger crowds again. Your first year, you know, we had the pandemic. What's that feeling going to be like to see a packed stadium again, especially into your second year?
I think that's going to be really cool. Never got to experience it in the NFL setting. But, you know, I think it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Chill back. When was you, Jalen and Mac, the same quarterback position? But pictures of the three of you together. Like for you guys, did you ever comprehend and maybe think about that you guys have as a future? Did you guys talk about like when you three can do together kind of thing?
Never really had those type of conversations in our quarterback room. It was always asking questions on how did you do this? Like, why did that work so good for you? You know, and then trying to go out there and everyone figuring out on their own, and then we're all coaching each other up. But we all learn from each other. You know, it wasn't just one person, so that was a good thing about it.